Yo, what is up? Quick, we should do a quick recap. I think that might be a good way to do things through the nights. I know we end up sharing our like few favorite plays, but I think overall recap, we can kind of talk through that from yesterday. Pretty good night. I know the actual plays ended up being the 2 for 3. You know, the dreaded. We've seen it all before. We're very used to the 2 for 3s. But Killian Hayes starting out the night, man. Over 6 assists, ended up with 8. It was kind of weird. I mean, Killian had an amazing game overall, and I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. It was a little bit of a sweat. You know, he got into some foul trouble early in the game. I think he had 3 fouls in the first half. Ended up only playing 12 minutes in the first half, where he should have played way more. He was the best player for the Pistons, like in the first half, pretty clearly. So I think this one ended up being a pretty comfortable cover in OT for sure. Also in this game, I do want to mention Bogey was another that just covered in OT as well. That was like the hook, right? He was at the hook. I think he was at 19. We needed an over 19 and a half. That was one of the other ones we liked in that game. And then Vooch, man. We're known rebound haters, so no check mark here. This was the miss. We're known rebound haters. It's just, dude, I don't even want to I don't want to use energy to even talk about why this missed, right? Game went to OT. He just got, I don't even know. Part of it's like kind of just like, whatever, but ball didn't bounce his way. Another part was that he kind of just got like outmanned by Mitchell Robinson, which I think part of me was like, I mean, not like we didn't know that Mitchell Robinson is like I don't want to say a mismatch, but like size wise can definitely outbody and outman Vooch. But I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those, like, he was in position all night, right? Mitchell Robinson never spaces the floor. It got to the point where I was like, please let Vooch get on Hartenstein because he spaces the floor out better, but at least he's not going to just outman offensive rebound over him. But no, it's fine. I don't want to use any more energy to complain about Vooch missing. But then
banning rebounds now for sure.
Right. And then Kawhi on a pretty inefficient shooting night ended up covering. So I really like that pick. I think it was a great pick. I know that was kind of one of your plant your flag plays. Really good pick. I think people can point to like, oh, he barely hit and covered with the free throw at the end. But with how he shot and still covered, I think it's a great call. I like that one. A couple other ones we had that we liked. I know Dame was one of your plant your flags. Insane game from Dame last night, man. He could have been in there instead of freaking Vooch. It's tough, but hey, I mean, I successful. You know, you feel pretty good about it, right? As far as like what we liked and what we talked about through the night. So we can get off of this and head into the games today. Pretty small slate today, but good slate. I like these games. These should be just one good games for props, right? A lot of these are, you know, should be pretty close games for the most part, but just overall, and a fan of basketball, you should like these games, right? Good games tonight. First off, let's actually start with the thumbnail here. We got John on the thumbnail. We'll start with Memphis, Milwaukee. This one is a 227 total, nice total, 2-point spread for the home team, the Grizzlies. A couple key injuries, some we're expecting, right? I mean, no Bane for the Grizzlies. No Drew tonight for the Bucks. So obviously that'll change things a little bit. I will say, I know we tend to point to like Drew being this like amazing guard defender, and he definitely is, but I don't want to like discount Carter, who's also a very solid defender. But obviously Drew, I think you would argue, is in a different kind of tier as far as a defender.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think a lot of times people can point to like, oh, this guy's out, Drew's out, Ja's gonna smash or something. I'm not even saying that's not the case, but I think like having that awareness is important.
Definitely.
But we can talk about him. Let's go right to him. I mean, Ja right here, 27.5. I will say, amazing line. You can see here we've got Pinnacle line -140. A lot of pick 'em / favoring the over on most books at that line, 27.5. I do like that line for Ja. I will say the Bucks are one of the better teams as far as defense in the paint. So I think they're the third. They allow the third fewest points in the paint per game this season. I mean, very strong defensive team, obviously, but I mean, the rim protection of obviously what Brook Lopez has been doing this season. I mean, it feels like every rotation they have a guy who's actually a pretty good rim defender. So how comfortable are you with Ja tonight?
I think the usage will obviously be there. I think we've seen him shoot better from beyond the arc anyway this season. I don't think, their stellar defense down low is going to stop him from attacking the paint and
Right.
maybe like trying to get Giannis in foul trouble or
So
whatever.
he's so good at drawing
But
fouls. Like, yeah.
yeah, but I actually really like Dylan Brooks in this one too.
Hmm.
Especially because like no Bane, right? And
Yeah.
Memphis is going to have to, shoot from outside a good amount of the game. Brooks is seeing some pretty solid usage in minutes without Bane. Um, Loves to shoot the three ball. I'd rather go points than threes. It's kind of a pick 'em at this line. Some books slightly, actually it really just is a pick 'em at this line for most books.
Hmm.
I like him to get 20 or more tonight. I really like the 18 and a half. I think, whether Jaw succeeds or struggles, I think Dylan Brooks is by far the next man up to kind of help defend home court against this team. And I think he's by far their best 3-point shooter with Bane out left. And so I don't see how effectively, contributive guys like Jaren Jackson and Conchar and Steven Adams could be offensively. I think it's really going to be Brooks and Morant and, maybe a little bit of Triple J. But I
Yeah.
like how this lines up for Brooks. I like his matchup with Grayson Allen on him.
Yeah.
You'll probably see Chris Middleton switch to Brooks and maybe have Grayson Allen just play up a man on Conchar maybe sometimes. But
Yeah.
I like the three ball to be more open, obviously, with how they're not only how Milwaukee just naturally defends and like you said, top three against the paint, but also like because they have Ja too, they're not going to stray from that, right?
Yeah.
So I like Brooks to try to kill him from three and just mid range and as well. So I like Brooks 18 and a half. I don't hate Ja just off sheer usage. But if there's any team that's gonna really give him troubles, it's gonna be this Milwaukee team. So I also really like that it's at home for Memphis. I think that bodes
Yeah.
really well for them. I think they're a good home team. And so are Milwaukee. They're a good home team too. So that edge does mean something, and I think that shows with Memphis being 2-point favorites in this one. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
give me Brooks 18 and a half.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Forgotten Ninja? My Kawhi line was 19 and a half. Yeah, that's tough, man. That final stretch, right? He missed the first free throw, then hit the second. Man, I'll pour one out for 19 and a half Kawhi, guys. I think that's like,
That was me too.
yeah, it's one of those things where like, man, we talk about the 1 point difference in like some of these lines, and like I think we'll talk about liking plays regardless, right? Like you like the over even if it's, but man, the 1 point of value you can get on some of these lines, it's just it sometimes means a world, you know. And last night was one of those nights, unfortunately, and it sucks too. Like the free throw obviously sucked, but Kawhi also didn't shoot great, right? So like
Yeah.
the volume was there. You just kind of look at it and you're like, man, Kawhi, you couldn't have made one more shot. He actually probably should have even shot more, honestly, if you watch that game. I feel like there were a
Yeah,
lot
there's
of
so many times he got the
yeah.
ball under the rim and he's just like dished it out.
Yeah.
Kind
It
of
felt
weird,
like
but
yeah, I mean he still had like pretty decent volume, but it definitely felt like watching Kawhi in some of these games, you're like, man, if this was just like Kawhi like 2 years ago, he's dropping 28. Also had a same parlay, stay alive from Luca. Oh, dude, I played Luca last night too. 29 and a half, got that 30 on the free throw. Yeah, I will say, what's more likely? Kawhi goes 1 for 2 from the line, or Luca goes 2 for 2.
yeah, right.
So you might
That's
have that's where you used your luck. Luca going 2 for 2 to
Yeah,
cover from
exactly.
the free throw line.
That's great.
That's funny. All right, we could let's flip over to. I will say Jaren Jackson here. I think he's like worth talking about, but I will say I don't love underdog having the bumped line at 16 and a half here.
Yeah. How do you feel about Chris Middleton? 18 and a half.
Yeah, no, I love Chris.
Is it a little early for this to be like a 19-point game out of Chris?
I don't think
I mean, he's
so.
been
I
back
think,
for quite some time, but the minutes are still kind of floating 30 or under.
yeah, no, I think like from a
This
minutes
is scary.
perspective, like I totally get it. And I haven't seen any reports that are like he's gonna, but I think it's been nice to see, like him come back from that, that Rockets game where he played 6 minutes and then he, next game Warriors plays 29. This isn't a back-to-back or anything. So I feel like even ever since he's been back, like the fewest minutes he's played is like 26, 27. So like, yeah, you might not get, a 35-minute game from Chris if it's, a tight one down to the wire, but I still feel pretty good about it, man. He's been like right up against this line. It has been nice to see like decent shooting. I feel like we get a lot of these guys, like their return games are pretty rough, but I just like it, man. No Drew. I don't know. I do like it. Are you a little scared by it?
Yeah, I just posed it because it's, it feels like we talked about like Kawhi, right? He's coming back. Like, is this a time where you can get that good value before it goes up to near 20 more
Hmm.
consistently? Um, but it is very similar to Kawhi because he's at 18 and a half. He's coming off the injury still. He's still lingering around 30 minutes. I have a little less faith in it than I did the Kawhi one. I'm
Yeah.
not going to play it, but I thought it was an interesting talking point.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have, 20 in this last game? That was a game. First came back from his injury without Drew in the lineup. Had 20 points in that one, 6 for 13, 3 for 7 from 3. Not like insane volume, but pretty decent. And then just, I mean, you just point to like the past few seasons, like last season, him averaging like 21, 22 in games without
Yeah,
Drew. It's
yeah.
just Memphis too, right? Like we talk about all this stuff about the situation. It's also Memphis.
There's a line that I actually really like, but I just thought about it. It's a rebound line, so let's just
Is it
talk
Brooke?
about it. No, Giannis is at 11 and a half. I actually like him to get
Oh,
12 or more. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. Yeah, I actually do like that. Where's Brooke at? I feel like Brooke had a really low line somewhere I was looking at this morning. It's got 5 flat. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah. I will say that when I do pick rebounds, a lot of the times it is me trying to. I'd much rather play like rebound wagons like a Giannis, but felt like Vooch should have been that last night. So
Yeah, no, Vooch is weak. He's soft. He's dead to me.
he's. uh,
All right, we got. You want to go to Miami, Houston?
yeah, I'm just peeking at assists really quick. I think Ja's up at he's up at 7.5.
Yeah.
Giannis at 5.5 is pretty interesting in games without Drew. Um,
Yep, I was doing that too. Actually,
I do I do kind of like that. It's good value.
it's 5.5.
Yeah.
Mm. Eh, plays I like more personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we've gotten to see 3 Drew-less games this season. Giannis is just like, this is like the perfect line for him. Like he's been at like 5.7. Last season he was
Like
closer to like 6 plus.
I like Ja more. This is.
Assists, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just you just think like the usage is going to be there, and it just might be one of those games where he can get to the lane, but with his matchup and not necessarily want to go up as much as he usually does.
Yeah,
I can
that
see
and
that.
he's just been distributing a lot more this year.
Yeah.
Like he's had double-digit assists like 6 of the last 10 games. Like that's pretty crazy for Ja. Like we haven't seen that for. Um, so I like what I'm seeing out of that trend. He did miss the last 2 games, right? This is his first game
Um,
back since I think the Pistons game. So it'll be a
yeah.
little interesting, but
No, I think
I
he
still
he
think
had 12 last game, didn't he?
12 assists.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying I think he missed the last 2 games. Like was absent, not missed this
Oh,
line.
okay,
So,
okay, okay. Gotcha. He
so
did
he is
miss.
coming off a little
Yeah, I
time.
got confused because he actually did miss this line the last 2 games before. Not the most recent Pistons game, but the
Oh
Pistons
yeah,
game
yeah, yeah.
before that.
Jeez, OP,
Dude,
dude.
the
Let's just get
NBA,
out of here.
right? It's like all this unnecessary knowledge we have in our brains just ends up confusing us
Yeah,
on these
yeah.
lines. No, actually, I do like Ja. I think the line does feel a little. I don't even want to say a little high. I think like traditionally for Ja, right, the points line feels lower and the assist line feels higher. But I think based off of this season, I think the assist line does look pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I do like Giannis still, but I don't think it's like a favorite play of the night or anything. Cool. We can move on to. We'll go up to this Houston Heat game. So this one here, um, 3.5 spread, 218 total. I think the big injury question mark is Bam. So this is the second leg of a back-to-back, and Jimmy sat out, and the expectation is Jimmy's going to play tonight. But Bam, there was I think there was a report. I think he might have even said that he might miss this game just with some soreness. So I mean, it's the Heat. I mean, it wouldn't surprise anyone at all if these guys are missing
Yeah.
legs of back-to-backs. It's pretty common. So I, I
Yeah.
I I expect Jimmy to play, and I don't expect Bam to play. Obviously, I could be wrong about that, but that's my expectations. We can
Yeah,
move
it
on.
really stinks because I liked Bam in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
But
Jimmy
I
at
don't know if I
22 and a
mentioned.
half though
I
is
didn't.
not bad. 22 and a half. It's a good pace of spot again for Miami coming off that Pacers game. Um,
Um,
22.
I
Yeah.
know. Deadman's no like slouch at the five. Um, any of these Houston guys interest you? Like a Sengun at 12 and a half
Oh.
or anything?
Sengun at 12 and a half does seem low. I'd be really interested in the Sengun PRA.
Yeah.
He's one of those bigs
Did
that
you
like,
did you think I was coming in with like a Deadman prop? Like
yes.
he's kind of like a Bam Jr. if you think
Yeah, I
about
was like, bruh,
it. No,
chill out.
no.
No, yeah, Sengun's 23 and a half PRA is not terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
I do feel like on underdog specifically, you get a better value on his points versus PRA.
but yeah, I think you do go points anyway because he's 23 and a half. Like if he's getting 23 and a half PRA, he's getting 13 points.
Right.
Like I don't think he's gonna have another 10-16 game against the Suns.
Yeah, like it's possible, but it's expectations
Not
for
probably.
him. But I do think like the reason I did want to call it Sengun is I know the minutes have been a little sporadic this season. But I'm starting to feel more comfortable about him playing 20, 29, 30 minutes potentially in these games.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a smash spot because I know he's been right around
Yeah.
this line in the past couple of games, but I think that was one that from a value perspective looked interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm honestly I'm a little torn on this game. I don't know which way to go with it. Look at assists here. Kevin Porter Jr.'s got 5.5 on his line. I don't like that.
Man, Jalen Green at 3.5 should be such a smash, shouldn't it? I don't mind
No,
KPJ. He said, "No, I know."
but
That's why I said
it's good
that's why I said
value. Yeah,
should,
but it's
right?
like, I mean, he's just gonna play like a lot.
He just has so much usage
I
for a
do.
guard that just
I
does
know.
not
I
give
do really
you.
want to take it. Like you're telling me he's gonna have the ball like every possession for 40 minutes, and he can't get you 4 assists as a guard. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of.
he's averaging 3.9 this season. He's been a little bit better, but I don't want to like count on that. It is the Heat.
That's why I kind of like it. I kind of like the Heat to get a little rough with him and frustrate him and have him kind of get rid of the rock because
Yeah.
he's obviously a very like downhill runner, flashy,
Mm-hmm.
high octane, quick player, and the Heat are very good at clogging lanes and not letting that happen. Especially like Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry's gonna probably bug him a lot. So I kind of like.
I know the value might be tripping us up a little bit, like in talking more about Jalen Green versus KPJ. But does any part of you like KPJ to get 6 more than Green to get 4? Or do you feel like we're trying to force to like one of these more than we actually do?
Forced to like one of these more than we actually do.
Yeah, and I feel the
They're
same
like they're
way.
like fringe though. Like they're
Yeah,
close.
right. Yeah, they're like top 10 plays of the night, but not top 5, something like that.
Yeah.
I do want to call out Harrow. He's been a lot better in the assist department this season, but in some of these games where like Lowry's back and Jimmy's back, I don't feel as great about him being able to hit 6 assists.
Oh yeah, no. I'm cool on that.
Because I
It's
feel
at
like
five
this.
and a half.
No, it's at 5 flat, so I know like that looks appealing, right? Because you see all the value you get on the 4.5, but for him to get 6, I know he's been
Yeah, no.
better this season, but like in a Lowry Jimmy game, even against the
Exactly.
Rockets, it's a no thank you for me.
Yeah. It's true. It is a good pace up spot, but it's like it's
Yes,
not.
right.
It's way too his assist variance for Tyler Harrows is far
Yes,
too
for sure.
wide for me to feel good about that one. So
It's pretty similar with Jalen
uh,
Green too. KPJ, you feel a little bit safer about around those numbers. Peak
I
at
was gonna say
threes.
I was too. His threes are 2.5, and then have an underdog line on it
Mm-hmm.
for Tyler. We got 2 flat for KPJ. That's about it.
Yeah, I think we can move on next
Which I don't
game.
like. Yeah.
All right, moving on here. We've got.
Actually,
Oh,
before we move on,
yeah. You gonna make a click rebounds?
no, I really do want to play a Harrow or Kyle. I just like the pace up spot, and I like the lack of defense that Jalen Green gives. 22 and a half. I just didn't want to overlook it, is what I should say.
Gotcha.
They don't have a Kyle Lowry line?
Yeah, I was gonna
Is
say,
he
like,
out?
is
Am I
he out
tripping?
or something? Because he's not.
No, he's not.
Sometimes they just don't have lines, I guess. But Lowry
Yeah,
feels like one of those guys
whatever.
that, like, I mean, if we're given, I guess this on
Let's just move on.
ebook.
My
I
bad.
was gonna say I'm seeing more Tari Eason lines than I am Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. This game is very, very interesting to me.
Yeah.
These teams both played recently, obviously. What was it? 121 to 100 just 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Jazz got the win, but still, I mean, the spread, it's basically a pick'em game. Massive total, 232.5. I really like tonight for Zion specifically. We'll take a look at his lines. Another game with no BI, no Sexton for the Jazz. So we can pull up no Alvarado either, but I don't think that's massive or anything. But man, I just really, really, really like Zion tonight for a couple reasons. I know he just missed his points line this last game against the same team, but 27 and a half, 28 and a half. I like both of those. Jazz are just so bad in the paint. I give them most points in the paint.
Yep.
And yeah, I know Zion. Like, I know you might look at this last game, and I think this is something that people tend to do, right? Is they'll just look at the most recent game and think that that's super predictive of what's going to happen the next one, right? If there isn't like a ton of changing factors or anything. But the Jazz are just undoubtedly bad defensively in the paint. I like some of the guys, like, I mean, Kessler could be a good blocks guy, but as far as like rim protection, like nobody can match up with Zion. So
Yeah, athletically.
Right, 100%. So I know, like, you might look at, okay, well, Zion 10 for 16, that's pretty efficient, only 26 points. I look at the stretch beforehand, what he's just done this season, and this matchup is just a lick my chops. And look at here, I mean, minus 180.
26 minutes too.
Right, 26 minutes. It ended up kind of being a weird blowout. We got minus 180 here on Pinnacle line. I mean, if you look at these 27 and a half, a lot of these are like plus 150, and it's just a pick 'em at 1 point more.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Pelicans scored 100 points. Their implied total is what? Their implied total is 116 tonight.
Yeah, I love the turnaround game for the Pelicans. I think this one is definitely closer. If not, Pelicans take this one. I agree with, obviously the Jazz are very bad points to paint. But for that reason, I do also like Valanciunas. I know that's kind of maybe scary to you. But just like Zion, he had 15 and 19 minutes last game in that blowout, and his line is down to 13 and a half. Again, it's a guy that's going to be in the paint. You're asking for half the amount of points as Zion, with probably he's going to have more than half the amount of usage, I would think. So if Zion's going to shoot probably like what? I would think Zion could shoot around 20, 21 times in a full game here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if Val can shoot 15, 16 times, it's a walk in the park for 14 points as well. So,
yeah,
I like both of them a lot. I actually think both. I think this will be a close game, and I think it'll be very big, heavy, big loaded in this one. Unless, CJ McCollum can shoot better. I think that was a big part of it too. Yeah. CJ McCollum doing well doesn't hurt, right? Like Zion or Valanciunas. Because like last game, if CJ shot well, that game's closer. They play more minutes, and everybody.
It was 6 for 17 for CJ, only 14 points. And even in like these like stretch of good Zion games, I will say, Murphy. Yeah, I will say, Trey shot. Oh, what was it? For
7.
Yeah,
from the field.
Yeah, it was just bad all around for the most part. Like that game, this should definitely be higher scoring, closer. Yeah. Is any part of you like CJ at 18 and a half? Or is it just you just like those other two guys a lot better?
I like the other two. Yeah, I like the other two way more.
I think so too. All right, any of these? Oh, we're actually, we got Laurie at 21 and a half. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm gonna peek some of these assists.
I like Conley at 7 flat assists. Not terrible.
No.
CJ at 5 flat assists. Excuse me. Let's see. What's Trey Murphy's threes at? 2.5. Jeez, OP, guys.
CJ.
Yeah, I think it's just the points for me. I just like the
Yeah.
implied total for the Pelicans. This one so much more. Um, Laurie scares me a little bit
Yeah.
um, as far as points goes. Maybe Clarkson, honestly, but he's also his line is pretty high too, isn't it? Where is he? Yeah, 20 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he had the volume last game, but even if he shoots much better, he's still close to not hitting. So, yeah, I think it's just Zion and Val for me.
I'm not gonna. I'm not. I hate rebounds, but I kind of like Laurie over 7.5. If I was playing a rebound line tonight,
Yeah,
it's just a really good line.
yeah, I agree. I do like that too.
But man, screw rebounds.
All right.
All right, last game here. Phoenix
Ooh,
Clippers.
no, no one's really on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, key injuries for both sides. Honestly, I
Yeah,
mean, Booker and Ayton, I think are actual like for sure game time decisions. I don't expect Ayton to play. He missed practice yesterday, but it's just hard to predict, right? I mean, a lot of these guys like they can play without practice. It's just a reflection of like how the injury is. So it's an ankle that made him miss 2 games, I think, when he had it previously. So I think he could miss this game easily. And then Booker's questionable. And then Kawhi, um, it's the second leg of a back-to-back. There's no like injury reports or anything. It's just one of those. I'm done being surprised at Kawhi missing back-to-backs. So that's kind of
no, not at all.
where I'm at. I know he's listed. You see this little like green symbol on these, and like there hasn't been any reports of like we'll see, but I would lean towards Kawhi being out if I had to place money on that. If there was a is Kawhi out tonight prop, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd love to see Kawhi play more. He looks really good, played good minutes. So we'll see. But
yeah, I would be shocked if he plays this game.
all right.
And if he does, it'll probably be annoying because it's like, okay, we'll play him on a back-to-back. Everybody gets really excited. And he plays like 12 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
and they're like, we're gonna take him off the bench for this one back to back.
yeah,
It's just gonna be frustrating. Cool. I'm cool too. We can kind of talk through. We don't need to force 3. I know we tend to traditionally do 3. I'm down to do 2. We could do 3 if we have 3 that we really like. I know we had a couple we had talked about in some of these games. Did you get your pen and
yeah,
paper out? You have some of the notes.
yeah. I think my front runner is Dylan Brooks, 18 and a half points over in that Grizzlies Bucks game.
Mhm.
Um, Nothing that really stuck out to me in the Miami Houston game. We liked, Val and Zion points in the Pels game, and then we
Yeah.
had nothing out of the Suns game. So we could just go like Brooks, Zion points. I mean, Giannis boards too is honestly pretty interesting to me.
I
I
know.
don't think I don't know if we love that. I think just Jaren Jackson's a very weak rebounder to me.
Yeah.
And so then like all you're left with competition wise for rebounding is your own teammate Brook Lopez, who's also a bad defender because he's also going to stretch the floor. It's just Steven Adams and Giannis. I think I would be shocked if Giannis doesn't get 12 boards.
I know, man.
To be quite frank, I think it's a pace up spot. Memphis is at home. They're going to dictate the pace. They're going to play a little bit quicker, a lot more shots. I really like Giannis rebounds. That might be a play my flag game. Right?
I
Oh, I'm
mean, if
like
they're
3 for 3 on the plant the flag.
the thing with like Giannis rebounds too versus like I know we're like pretty torn on just like what Vooch did to us, but like what happened to Vooch is not going to happen in this game, But obviously rebounds are one of those like, that's not the only thing, Yeah.
Yeah, I say this. I'll say this. If you want to play 3 picks, I think Giannis should be the 3rd pick. His rebounds. I like Brooks points. I'm with you on Zion points, and then Giannis boards if we want to go for 3. 4-3.
Yeah, man. Let me see something really
You
quick.
today, Junior.
I kind of want to look at something real quick, actually.
Drew Brees, assistant interim coach for the Purdue Boilermakers.
Yeah, you like that?
My God, that's sweet. Big Ten guy. You there?
I am. Yeah, I'm just. I'm. There's like three other plays that I like, and I'm like in my mind, I'm ciphering through if I like them as much or more than the three that we're talking about right now.
What are the other three?
I like. I do like some of the Jaws that we called out. Jaw assist. I like
Mm-hmm.
Giannis. I like Giannis assist too.
Okay.
I'm fine with like not playing Middleton tonight. I think we
Yeah.
both are in the same camp where like it's very appealing, but it might just not be worth the
The
risk.
minutes risk. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like it. So Drew, Drew, I do like Josh assists. I like Giannis assists. I do like Giannis rebounds. I like Laurie rebounds too.
Oh yeah.
I did like that one.
That's at 7.5.
Yeah,
I actually do really like that
I
one too.
know.
Let's uh let's do that.
Hmm.
Let's do Lori.
Laurie boards.
Yeah.
1 second. Let me do some research. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just type in the analytics. Yep. Laurie is 7 foot tall.
Is that what you were doing?
No, I was trying to make a joke. Like that's the analytics data analysis I do for that. He's 7 foot. All right. Cool. I'll take a pretty much a board
Also,
a
he's
board
just
of
not
feet.
7 feet. He's just not 7 feet.
Yes,
I don't. It's that's such a lie. He is 6'10", maybe 6'11". With shoes on, yeah, they list him as 7 foot. I promise you, he's not 7. I can't stand the height of like NBA stuff.
he's got the length of a 7 footer though.
It's always so wrong. But then there's like true 7 footers, and you just put them next to each other, and you're gonna be like,
How
yeah,
tall was
okay.
Yao?
Yeah, I was like
7'6".
7'6". Yeah, 7'6".
Did I miss Yao?
So he was actually like 7'4".
I wish we like. Is any part of you like? I love the NBA today. Don't get me wrong. But is any part of you like think about old NBA times and be like, can you imagine doing like a prop stream for like Kobe
Yeah,
or something? Kobe
yeah,
Yao.
yeah.
That would be so nasty. Kobe in
Like
his
you're telling me
prime. You're
Laurie
like,
is 7 foot, but Giannis is 6'11". Like no way. They're the same size.
we'll watch.
Height.
We'll take a look at tonight. All right, so let's do the three. All right, run it. Are we deciding to run it? Are we deciding to run it back with the rebounds, Laurie? I do
Laurie
like
or
that.
Giannis. But is Laurie going to be that guy that's you're going to watch and you're going to be like, Laurie, you're such a soft person. Like, get a board.
Uh,
Because for me, it's like
well,
Giannis is going to be. Blah, 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 blah.
yeah. I think it just might just be
The
a
line is
nod. I think
lower.
it's just a nod to the lines for me, less than it is like
Okay.
not like I don't have confidence in Giannis. Um, and not that it matters, but Laurie smashed this last game.
You gotta, yeah, you got. I'm with it. Like, you got to give me a.
No, I already have it on the sheet.
Okay, good.
I just didn't want to force it, like if you run into it. So I got Laurie on the sheet. Your plant your flag is Dylan Brooks.
God, Kuzma's such a punk. It's not my plant my flag, but I do like it a lot.
What's wrong with Kuz? He missed by the hook,
He just
right?
he just tweeted nothing like getting off the plane and that California breeze hitting you.
Yeah, you just gotta
God,
let
what a
Kuzma
drama queen,
do his
dude.
thing.
We get it, dude. You want to be in LA. You want to be. He should just retire from the NBA and be a TikToker. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, was he give you juju energy?
Yeah, but Juju's like cute in the way he does it. Kuz is like a punk in the way he does it.
Dude, are those Kuz fits though? High
Yeah, he's got
fashion.
style. He's got style. He's got
He's got some
style.
style. All right, Brooks. It was 19 and a half, right?
18 and a half.
Oh, it was 18 and a half? Oh, I thought it was 19.
I'll double check it, but
No, I'm happy to be wrong.
that's why I liked it because I like him to get like 20 tonight at least, and it's a little room for error. Yeah, 18 and a half.
Hell yeah. And then third, I know we had a couple that we liked. So I liked those Memphis Bucks game assist guys from John Giannis. We can put Giannis rebounds as a part of it. I know you liked.
You don't have Zion
Oh
anymore?
yeah, Zion.
I thought you really liked him.
Oh, I did. My brain just like removed myself from that Jazz game because I was like, all right, we got Laurie. Yeah, I like Zion. Do you want to try to make a case for Vooch or Vooch Val? God, Vooch is just he's I got PTSD. Because
My
I'm
case
gonna
would
argue I
be
get that Zion's line is high. Like I'm not
yep.
like it is pretty heavily bumped from just traditional Zion lines. I just love it.
My case would be his line is literally half, if not a little under half, the line that Zion is. But I think his usage and his volume, his field goals attempted, will be far more than half of what Zion will get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna, his usage to line ratio is better. And as a center playing right next to the bucket, I mean, he can shoot the three sometimes, but he's not gonna be like.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that we talked about, like Zion, no one really being able to match up well with him. I mean, Vooch is a similar, obviously he's not like a monster, but he can bully.
My only concern is I feel less like I know Zion's going to go out there and give us a lot of minutes and a lot of shots and a lot of scoring. Like Zion, this could just be a game where he's like, I'll shoot 6 times. Whereas Zion's like giving me a floor of 15 shots.
Yeah. I think the frustrating thing with Val is the minutes, right? I think it's one of those things where like even with some key injury guys, like no BI and everything, like he's only playing like 23 minutes without BI this season.
Yeah. We can leave him off. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just
I like the Zion line though too.
I wish somebody else was out for the Pelicans. Like if one other potential minute guy for Val was out, I would play it.
It's a good sign to me that Zion's up to 28.5.
Yep.
Because that shows that like the books agree. Like the books think he's gonna have a big game.
Yeah, I'm done. I think this one's close in high scoring too, right? Like he barely missed his last game.
100%. We're probably getting an extra 15 points on this roster that we didn't get last night.
Yeah.
Or 2 nights ago?
Yeah, 2 nights ago. Not like this isn't a back-to-back, but it's the last game they played on the 13th.
Yeah, right.
All right, cool. We got these set up. Man, how about Killian Hayes? Can we just talk about Killian Hayes for like 1 second while I'm getting the prop screen set up? Is he like is he not a bust to you? Or are we jumping too early?
Oh, I don't think he's a bust at all. He's playing solid minutes in year 3 as a 7th pick. Like come on.
Yeah. No, I think
bust gets tossed around too much.
Yeah, and I think when you compare it,
not play.
I think a lot of people will compare it to like who went around him, right? So when you look at like guys like Halliburton doing what they're doing right now, that's
Harrison's the thief of joy.
Damn.
Say it every time.
But I think my big thing is it'd be really hard for me to have a favorite Piston if Halliburton and Cade were on the same team. That's kind of my thought process.
Okay.
All right, here we've got 3 props we like for tonight, underdog. We got Brooks, more than 18.5 points. Lauri Markkanen, more than 7.5 rebounds. And Zion, more than 28.5 points. What's up?
Lowry is out, by the way. That's weird. They just broke.
Oh, Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. Dude, not that it doesn't affect our.
Yeah, I swear. I thought you said. Like Laurie. I thought you were saying Laurie.
Lowry Markkanen. That's funny.
That is.
No, I like this.
Cool. I will say, like, if you guys like, I do like some of those hero lines a little bit more with Lowry out, but and Jimmy too, but I don't think it's impacting me massive compared to these.
I really hope Giannis doesn't hit his boards now.
Okay, don't do that. Like, you can still play it. Like, we want to be able to come to the stream and like it's kind of like a little fail safe, right? Because if it hits, we get to like come and be like, we got the 3 for 3 and Giannis hit. But if it misses, and we got to come on the stream and be like, "Told you, Canyon, idiot."
Yeah, you're right.
Do you want me to put Giannis in? Is that where we're at right now?
No, not at this point. Not at this point. I don't like the vibes here anymore.
All right,
Leave it enough.
All right, sounds good. Good luck tonight. As always, these are just our three favorite. You guys, we're not telling you put your house on this. These are the three. Full transparency. I love the NBA and I'm a degenerate, so I tend to pick some of the things I like and I'll mix and match, and I'm playing multiple things. So I recommend you guys don't go crazy and just blindly follow. But if you did blindly follow, what were we last season? Like 50? It was like 50.
Like 58, 50.
Yeah, I think it was like 57, something like that. Which don't get me started on people's opinions of player prop hit rates. All right, appreciate you guys. Much love.
I mean, the pros are like 52. So
what are we?
5.
What's higher than a pro?
Or Grand Champ.
Grand Champ. All right. Dude, we'll play 2 in Rocket League. All right, appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. Good luck tonight on your plays. Go Pistons.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. See ya.